About to give you a hot 16. A hot 16. Let's get this thing started, man. Welcome to Desk Talks. Yeah, Desk Talks, man. That's how we kicking it off. I'm going to randomly be having these Desk Talks, man. Just, I be journaling sometimes in my notes, and it be things that I be wanting to talk about and address. And I'm about to just, add this segment to my podcast channel. I started a podcast, a new episode coming soon, man. I promise, new episode coming soon. But yeah, in the meantime, when I don't have any podcast guests, I want to be doing these desk talks where I just, speak my mind and address certain things that's going on, things that's on my mind. I know I just said that. Stuff that I just be journaling or whatnot, that sometimes it's bother me, rubs the wrong way. Sometimes that some things that I should be talking over with a therapist that, again, me just procrastinating and haven't found a new therapist. I actually haven't took the time to find a new therapist, if I'm being honest. I've been BSing, can't lie. But yeah, I need to find, where my journals and stuff at, man. I got so many notes, bro. That's all I do, I promise you. I mean, my notes crazy, and I forget so much stuff that I just really got to write it down, man. Where I want to start, what I want to just touch bases on. This is a good topic. I had this talk with someone a few I want to say a month or two ago, and I was just talking about how the dynamic of my neighborhood changed so drastically, where I was, necessarily brought up. I was brought up in the uptown area, specifically Shelton Avenue. This neighborhood had a lot of people lived in the vicinity of this neighborhood. The block is Shelton Avenue. That's that neighborhood is really known from. But in that kind of 3 to 4, 5 block vicinity, everyone around that neighborhood necessarily hung on Shelton Avenue. I specifically actually lived on that block. 2031. So the 2100. Yeah, the 2100 of Shelton Avenue. Great memories, man. I appreciate everything I went through, bad, good. All of my friends that I've encountered, ones that has transitioned, the ones that's still here, the ones that's incarcerated, unfortunately. Man, it's so many memories. There's so much stuff that I'm probably going to talk about. But specifically, I just want to talk about how the dynamic change of that neighborhood, when I start to see it, like, it started to become real eye-opener. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that happened, like probably a lot of different neighborhoods of, the good, the bad, the ugly. If I'm being honest, that block was a drug block. It's, as long as I knew, like, from my family, from my sister's family, as long as I knew, since a little kid, that block has always been a drug block. Which, that's just the nature and dynamics of that environment. Needless to say, there's so many people that was raised in that neighborhood and was brought up in that neighborhood. When I say so many people, like when I tell you, all of us went to elementary school. I actually moved away, then I wound up moving back. Middle school and high school together. Predominantly, we all went to middle school at the same time, and we all went to the same middle school, which was crazy. We all went to Ada Lewis. Even though Wagner Middle School was probably literally a 5 to 7 minute walk down the street, because we lived on like the border of, I guess, the zip code, we couldn't attend that school. So we probably had to walk I want to say 2.5 miles, probably a 25-minute walk all the way to Ada Lewis, which prompt, like, when I say we used to probably walk to school probably like 30 deep. No, let me not exaggerate. That's not exaggeration, actually. But we used to walk to school. Probably everybody was clicked up. It was probably over. I'm gonna say it was probably over like 50 to 60 people in my age range. Probably 70 people in a 4 to 5 block radius in that neighborhood. So we actually used to walk to school kind of clicked off. So probably 10 here, 15 here, 7 here, couple here and there. But the thing is, when we used to walk home from school, we actually used to wait. We had a gate. We had a designated gate that we used to wait for everybody to get out of school at Ada Lewis and all walk home to school. All walk home from school. And that used to accumulate, especially, probably had a couple friends that was from outside of our neighborhood that, probably just used to kick it and was cool there. You probably had some family and whatnot as well. That probably used to accumulate to probably like 60 people, no exaggeration, walking home together. Like, it used to be bad. Like, it used to be so bad. It used to be people that probably lived the way that we walk, that they would walk a whole nother way so nothing wouldn't happen to them. That's how bad it was. And of course, we was young, used to do dumb stuff. So that's why nowadays it's hard for me to really, I can speak on it again just because I got to hold people accountable. But about the youngins, when they doing crazy and, stuff that people look at as belligerent, man, we was doing that same stuff. So it's hard for me. I can say it's wrong because it is wrong. But at the same time, it's like, bro, we was doing that same stuff. Like, running up, socking people, beating people up. We used to be doing all that type of, mind you, it was a lot of us too. So it makes, and we all going the same way. It ain't no, we just following each other. No, we going to the same neighborhood. We going to the same neighborhood, dropping our book bags off and coming right back outside to be around each other. That's how it was probably almost every day. But just to get back on topics, I wanted to talk about kind of how the dynamic of my neighborhood changed. Like I said, when we used to, we had a routine. We used to meet up in the morning. Everybody, depending on what block you live on, because it was most people living on different blocks, you would probably walk to school with those people that you live on your block. We'll walk to school, probably stop at Pee Wee's, get some penny candy, because he had probably a life supply of penny candy. He was selling penny candy. It was a laundromat on my block called Pee Wee. Wait for each other at the school, kind of catch up with what happened to everybody. Everybody cool. Nobody got enough. Nobody don't need to beat nobody up. We don't need to jump. All right, go home, drop our book bags up, grab book bags off, grab our stuff, and go straight to the pile. The pile was like our safe haven in a sense. That's what everybody basically used to congregate. Whether you knew how to play basketball or you just wanted to go there and watch, the girls that used to come to our neighborhood, they used to come there and watch us play ball. And that's how we kind of, just congregated, pop shit at one another, how challenge, compete against one another, so on and so forth. Again, that was our safe place. Like really 5 days a week, everybody know that we necessarily are going to school, going to the pile, coming back outside. Our dirty ass probably wasn't going to take a shower. We probably was going to talk shit to each other or bid or whatnot, and then go home, go in the house, and do it all again. When this dynamic started changing though, as people started to get older. We started getting older, 8th grade. When we started getting out of middle school, we started to transition to that high school phase. I had a lot of friends that, started experimenting with smoking. This is when it started getting a little crazy. I had a lot of friends used to experiment with smoking, smoking weeds in particular. then it was pulling. It was kind of, it was a following trend. A couple of my friends start doing it. They start persuading or peer pressure. Come on. They probably see some of the older friends that we was hanging with. They probably was doing it already. Mind you, everybody in my neighborhood was damn near athletes. So again, it wasn't something that they just jumped into. It's something that kind of they transitioned into, probably followed or peer pressure one another. But again, this started to happen, and I start to see slowly but surely things start to transition. You had some of my friends, they start to dip off, they'll kind of put their money together, go get some weed, smoke. Then you start having some of my friends, they start cutting school just to smoke, or they'll be late to school because they smoking in the morning before we go to school. So it started to really take an effect on some of them because, like, again, I told you we play basketball. Some of these niggas stopped coming to the pile. Like, nah, I ain't going to the pile. I'm about to go smoke. I'm trying to go smoke shit like that. It started to really, this when I start really sitting back like, damn, these niggas tripping. And this has kind of made my mind up like, man, I'm not getting this. That's not smoking. That's not my thing. I like this. I start like standing on them, and because it started becoming a real peer pressure. Like, come on, Sal, come on, everybody doing it. I'm like, bro, no. And the more I was peer pressured, the more I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. Like, that's corny. Y'all niggas followers. Y'all probably don't even like smoking. Y'all just doing it because everybody doing it. Like, y'all followers. So then that started happening. So then, like, the numbers start dwindling at the pile. Like, niggas really stopped coming to the pile. I kind of felt mad. I used to be at niggas a little bit, like, a little jealous, like, trying to, when I'm done, I try to, like, yeah, that's why you a bum now. You don't come to the pile. You corny. I used to try to go at niggas, like, you can't beat me. You're not better than me, so on and so forth. Just try to, like, make them come to the pile to come play ball, like. But sometimes it works. Sometimes niggas was just like, nah, I might smoke with such. You going to such and such crib? Yeah, I'm going to such and such crib. So that start happening. And then of course, you need money to finance your high, to pay for your high. So this one it start transitioning even more. Niggas start hustling. Well, I told you my block was already a drug block. Already got the older guys that's hustling. So now the younger guys transitioning to hustling, and now they in high school and it's just a lot more influence on the things. So now they in high school, girls around, they want to have some money, they still want to get high, they still want to finance they high, they want to get fly, whatnot. So now there's more and more people start hustling. So now they not just smoking, but now they hustling. So now it's at a point where I'm like, niggas not even coming to the pile no more. It's like, damn, I'm in the joint like, there's a couple of us, and I'm just, damn, this is ass. Like, it got to a point where I just stopped coming. I kind of stopped coming to the pile. I started calling, like, if I needed help with work or need to use the computer or whatnot like that. But it got to the point where I probably just stay in the crib, or I come outside to see if niggas going to the pile. But people had to start asking me, like, yo, you going to the pile? I'm like, man, I'm only going if it's enough people going. Otherwise, I'm not about to just be in there by myself. This one, I also started going down to another recreation center down Lonnie Young. I started going down there too, because that was another neighborhood where there was a lot of kids my age, it was a lot of competition, a lot of people that were still in sports. Everybody was still competing with one another and whatnot. So I kind of started going down there as well to kind of like still have fun, still be a kid, and playing these sports or whatnot. And again, I didn't necessarily, especially it was more so basketball. I didn't necessarily take basketball serious. I just like the sport, and I love to compete, and I felt myself being good at it. So that's necessarily what happened with the dynamic of my neighborhood. When I had this conversation, I'm just like, damn, that shit really affected me, because it was like, in real live time, I was losing my friends slowly but surely to what our environment was influencing them to. And it went from one person to two person. And I mean, it was older guys that was doing it, but it was a lot of stuff that older guys that was doing that everybody my age wasn't at first. But again, it just started becoming an influence. And start more and more people. And I'm just like, dang, I'm kind of really like I'm kind of by myself. I probably had two other friends that didn't smoke, and it used to just be us, if I'm being honest. Everybody else used to be like I start feeling lonely, if I'm being honest. Like, niggas really start dipping off, and I don't smoke, so I'm not about to just sit around y'all niggas while y'all smoke. Like, that's, and it was like, when we was young, it was like immature smoking. Like, niggas they just laughing at dumb shit. Like, bro, like, what's funny, y'all? They want to start playing games, and now niggas got the munchie. They trying to go do some snatch and run. It was like that immature high. Like, I'm like, bro, this is weird. Like, man, I'm about to just go in the crib, bro. I'm about to go mess around with some chicks or something like that. Like, because of my friends start to transition into that life. But also, the pile started closing. I believe the city was cutting funding or something. So a lot of the piles were closing. So that safe haven, as I stated earlier, it wasn't available like it was. So it was only open in certain days. Like, you'll go around, and certain times it wouldn't even be open and whatnot. So that became like a strain even on the younger kids. Younger kids, they used to come there and watch us play ball, whatnot, that was looking up to us. So that dynamic, because even the days that people did want to, go play ball and whatnot, they didn't even have that luxury no more. So that took away a lot. Remember, I told you it was a bunch of people, it was a bunch of kids, teenagers or whatnot in that neighborhood, and now they didn't even have the utilization of going to that recreation to kind of blow off some steam, play some ball, some sports or whatnot. And again, the next neighborhood was Lonnie Young, which wasn't too far, but like, when you confine to your neighborhood, that's your comfortability. So it wasn't the same. Like, it's a little bit of the street politics, and I wouldn't say people from my neighborhood were scared to go down there because they went down there, but it just wasn't the same, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I went down there because, I mean, that's necessarily what I wanted to do. That's what I enjoy. So while everybody else was doing that thing, I took my walks, and I went down there. I made a name for myself, and I enjoyed myself. I continued to play ball, continued to build my legacy, or the foundation of my legacy. Again, like I said, I was motivated to be the best in my neighborhood, and at that point in time, like, I wasn't. It was a few good athletes in my neighborhood that was doing their thing. I can say it was a couple people putting on. I can say one of them was Xavier. He was doing his thing. It was a couple people. From my neighborhood, but as time went on, they started getting smoked out. Yeah. Big dogs start turning it up. Big dogs start turning it up, man. I don't know. As I continued to transition to high school, like, I really started making a name for myself. I really started putting on, and my neighborhood got behind that, and which was cool. I would have loved to, had a couple of my friends like on side of me, doing their thing as well. Because I said we was all athletes for real. I did have a few. Shout out to Kendall. Kendall was my dog. We competed at everything. When I say everything, from church yard football to basketball, upstates, everything. He really was someone who challenged me, who, like, he'd show up at my crib with the basketball. Yo, what's up? We going to the courts? Like that. Yo, what's up? We going to get some field work? Like, come on, let's go to the gym. Let's go lift some weights or whatnot. Like that. That's my dog. I'm forever grateful for him, because he was putting that battery in my back. Like, nah, yeah, I'm gonna have a better high school football career than you, such. You ain't going D1, such. Oh, we used to be going at it. Like, no, we ain't no. When we used to be on teams, we played like other neighborhoods and stuff like that. But when we used to be in the hood, we going at each other. Like, this was one of my friends that didn't smoke. So that was my battle buddy. Like, that boy, a lot of, mentally, I would say like my neighborhood helped me build that confidence and that confidence and that competitive spirit or whatnot. But on the other side, it was ultimately like Kendall, he really helped me. Like, we used to go at it, like, and then go to his crib and eat. Spend the night at his crib and play the game. Even playing the game, we used to go at it. Like it went to a point where Brody actually started living. He started living through me. Once he kind of hung it up, he started living through me. Like, man, and it was like a bittersweet. Like, yeah, I told you, but at the same time, it was like, nah, you the reason. That's why that's my dog. That's my dog forever. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's kind of the moral story. Like, those recreation centers, they play a key role in these environments, man. They play a key role. Even though my friends started transitioning, into that street life, whatnot. Once they really took that luxury of recreation away from it, it kind of flipped my neighborhood upside down. I ain't gonna lie. Even the younger kids, everybody just started jumping up. It wasn't nothing else to do. Everybody was bored. Come the summertime, everybody bored. People don't want to leave the neighborhood for real. Everybody just trying to get money, get high, get some chicks. Like, it turned my neighborhood upside down, and that's just what it was. Thankfully, I was headstrong to kind of. I'm not gonna say I didn't do nothing. I'm not gonna just say it like sit up here like I was just this angel. That'll be blasphemy. I'm gonna be honest. Like, but I would say I didn't let it define me. I didn't do drugs or whatnot, but when it comes to street activity, even if I participated, I didn't let it define me. That's not who I was, and I knew I was smart enough to, move accordingly to not get caught. That's the whole thing. I'm not encouraging any street activity, but at the same time, the objective is to not get caught and not get in trouble. That's the whole objective. If you participate in street activity, and again, sometimes I did fall victim to the circumstances in my environment, but thankfully, again, I was able to overcome that and kind of, build myself up to, who I am today. And I truly am grateful and appreciative of my environment. I say I'm a product of my environment, but on the other side, I'm trying to make my environment the definition of the what defined me coming up, because it's a lot of people ain't make it. It's a lot. But yeah, man, that's the end of my talk, man. Desk talk. That's the end of Desk Talk, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time, I'll holler at y'all.